Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here, and welcome to a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Kai's aquaphobia and how that might actually affect his performance during Season 15. Now, Kai actually has quite the history with aquaphobia. Aquaphobia, by definition, is the fear of water, and Kai does indeed have some form of aquaphobia. It kind of varies from person to person. Again, I'm not really an expert on this subject, but Kai's aquaphobia is definitely a little different from some real-life aquaphobia cases. But in terms of Kai's history with aquaphobia, we're going to be going through when it first showed up, how it's affected him as a ninja ever since, and if we will indeed see the return of his aquaphobia during Season 15, which is primarily an underwater aquatic season in nature. Throughout Ninjago's history, Kai has had quite the significant amount of character traits. However, his aquaphobia didn't really appear until Season 5. In Season 5, that was, again, possession, there was a large emphasis on water. The ghosts were weak to water. Moro and his army actually had a weakness, that of course was water, and Nia was becoming the water ninja, training to unlock her own elemental power after her identity as Samurai X wasn't really proven to be applicable to the team anymore. She became the water ninja. Where does Kai fit into all of this? Well, speaking of water and Season 5, we also found out that throughout Season 5, Kai actually has a fear of water, hence this is where his aquaphobia first shows up. We can see in Season 5 there are several instances where Kai is of course scared of going into water. He's especially anxious in the city of Styx, which is a city literally built on water. So obviously Kai's aquaphobia played a really big part throughout the Season 5 story. But we can't really start here. Kai has had a couple of interactions with water before, dating back all the way to Season 2. Now of course Kai's aquaphobia wasn't really brought up officially until Season 5, but even before that, Kai actually had some level of interaction with water, especially during Season 2. I want to highlight this scene right here in particular. This is a scene that a lot of Ninjago fans turn to when discussing Kai's potential aquaphobic fears. In this scene, the ninja are kind of reflecting over their recent defeat from the Overlord, and Kai decides, you know what, I'm just going to walk to Ninjago City. I don't even care. We can't get there, so let's just go across the ocean. And he literally just walks into the ocean, no hesitation. Obviously, that wasn't a very effective plan on Kai's end, but the point still stands here. The point, of course, being that Kai isn't really showing any hesitation here. He just walks into the water just straight up and really doesn't care, which really doesn't go in line with what he actually expressed during Season 5, where he's supposedly afraid of water. Now, there is an explanation for this. Going back to Season 5, like I said, the entire story was primarily about water. Once again, it was a weakness for the ghosts, and Nia was training to become a water ninja. I also want to point out that it's kind of ironic, considering how Kai is the fire ninja, Nia is the water ninja. Kind of seems like Nia has some type of leverage over Kai in that department. But Kai suddenly develops this fear of water pretty much out of nowhere, but significantly it's after he loses his elemental powers, after Lloyd gets possessed by Moro. The ninja's powers go dark due to their connection to Lloyd, and Kai does indeed lose his powers here alongside the other ninja, those of course being Jay, Zane, and Cole. So again, Kai suddenly developed this fear after he lost his powers. We can see there's a couple of scenes throughout Season 5 as well, during the earlier episodes, where the ninja are by water, and Kai really doesn't seem to have an issue with it. So what exactly is the correlation between Kai's aquaphobia and the losing of his elemental powers? I feel like Kai, in a sense, is feeling very weak here. Obviously, since he lost his powers, that's not really doing a whole lot for him personally. He does have this underlying fear of being overtaken in a way. He doesn't really enjoy the fact that he's, I guess, weak now, which would explain why suddenly, he develops this fear of water out of nowhere after his elemental powers are kind of gone. Another explanation could be that since Kai really doesn't have his powers, he has no way to defend himself, hence why he actually obtained this fear. But even after Kai retained his elemental powers, after Lloyd was freed from Moro's possession, Kai still showed some hesitation going underwater. We can see that towards the end of Season 5 as well. He's still very hesitant to even go underwater, even if it's for his own safety. So what exactly is this fear? I feel like it's a combination of a couple of things. Like I said, Kai feeling weak and undermined is definitely something that we need to keep in mind here. Kai is a very confident and overly, I guess, cocky character to an extent. Nia kind of carries a lot of the same traits as well, but Kai's overconfidence might just be his weakness. We have seen several instances throughout Ninjago where Kai's either lost his powers or lost a battle, and he beats himself up over it. He doesn't feel like a ninja anymore, and maybe because water is strong against fire, and maybe that's why Kai's fear is kind of still prevalent. I feel like Kai definitely has more of a fear of being weak and undermined as opposed to his aquaphobia, if that makes sense. He's more afraid of being weak and not a useful member of the ninja team. But in terms of his water fear, I could totally see that. I mean, with Kai, fire doesn't really stand very well against water. Water usually puts out fires, obviously, if you've seen reality, so I don't feel like Kai's fears are unjust. I feel like he's scared of of water for that reason. I feel like he has a right to be scared of water, but it's really inconsistent, I'd say. There's not really a whole lot of consistency going on with this fear. It just kind of shows up and, goes away when needed, which is kind of awkward. Throughout Season 5, again, Kai has displayed a massive amount of aquaphobia, but that's really it. We haven't really seen that in any other seasons. Of course, there's been like the hint here and there that maybe Kai might still be afraid of water to an extent, but I feel like he's gotten over it for the most part. He was able to be in Stick City during Season 6 without any hesitation, even though he had his powers then, and he hasn't really been shown to be, I guess, scared of water at any recent points, I don't think, unless I'm missing something major. But Kai seems fine now. So what exactly is going to happen with Kai's aquaphobia? Will this actually show up in Season 15 at all? To be honest, I'm not super sure. A couple of pieces of evidence to suggest that maybe Kai's aquaphobia might still be around is, well, if you look at the Season 15 poster, we can see that Kai and Cole do not have scuba suits on. The other 4 ninja do. Nia has one, Lloyd has one, Zane has one, and Jay has one. Kai and Cole do not. Now, we do know, judging from a couple of recent trailers, that Kai and Cole might be on a different mission. Some of the ninja will be going underwater, and some of them will not be. We know that Kai and Cole will be teaming up with characters such as Wu, Misako, Rei, and they're going to be doing something different on the surface while the rest of the ninja are underwater. So, kind of makes sense to me. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with Kai's aquaphobia. As of the time of recording this video, we do not have any English episodes past episode 2, so we really don't know anything about that just yet. But if Kai chooses to stay on the surface, it might be because of his aquaphobia. Maybe he just doesn't want to be underwater. Then if that's the case, then what's Cole's excuse? Maybe Cole just wanted to stick around as well. Maybe he's just looking out for Kai. But if you want my honest opinion on that, I feel like they could totally do, this story as follows. Kai is scared of the water, obviously. He doesn't want to go down under the water along with the ninja, so he opts to stay on the surface. And of course, we do know that there will be some trouble in Ninjago City as well, again, due to some recent trailers and things that some of the creators of the show had actually said. So yeah, I really don't feel like Kai has any reason to go underwater. I feel like he still will, though. I mean, we know that Cole is going to be getting a scuba suit in the sets at least, so I imagine they will be joining the rest of the ninja underwater at some point, but I'm not sure if that has anything to do with Kai's fear of water. If anything, I feel like they're just going to be ignoring it for Season 15. Kai's fear of water has a wild history throughout Ninjago. I mean, obviously, with a lot of things that we talked about in this video, there's not a whole lot to suggest that Kai's aquaphobia is, again, consistent or even relevant to the modern day interpretations of Kai, but I still feel like to an extent it's there. I mean, certain fears like that, sure, you can get over, but it kind of just went away as quickly as it appeared. Just to recap, Kai originally developed aquaphobia during Season 5 of Ninjago after he lost his elemental powers, and it's kind of been really inconsistent from there. I'm not exactly sure what Kai's deal is here. Like I said, if anything, Kai has more of a fear of being undermined and being the weak ninja. But in terms of Season 15, like I said, I doubt that we're going to be seeing anything related to Kai's aquaphobia. If we do, then fantastic. I feel like that's a very consistent move in terms of the writing. But in terms of reality, yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything related to Kai's aquaphobia. I really don't, which is kind of a shame, obviously. I mean, I want characters to be consistent throughout this show. I think that for the most part they are, of course. But with Kai, yeah, it's kind of a defining character trait, and I feel like it went away just as quickly as it appeared. Obviously, I might be missing something, and I've kind of given my 2 cents on Kai's aquaphobia in this video, kind of went through the history and what my personal thoughts on it are, and of course, what we could potentially see during Season 15's story. Now I'm going to turn it over to you guys, though. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. What do you think of Kai's aquaphobia? Does it reappear or disappear at will, or how do you think it works, really? Do you think it's just an inconsistency in terms of the writing, or do you actually think that there's a story behind this? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Had a lot of fun talking about this subject, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. This was a highly requested subject by a couple of you guys, so hopefully I was able to hit everything that I wanted to talk about. And again, leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description from other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for watching this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.